I'm going to demonstrate how to sharpen a serrated blade using the Kalamazoo belt sander. So this is a serrated blade where it's got scallops on one side and on the other side it's totally flat. If you look here, yeah, you can see that. There's reflections all along all of these points indicating just how dull it is. Yeah, I think you should be able to see all these down to, at least down to there also. So yeah, this thing's extremely dull. Let me show you just how dull. Really doesn't do much at all. So this is going to take a minute to get rid of all of these, all this incredible flatness here. So I'm starting with a 280 grit belt, which is a Trizact A65. Here we go. So I should tell you here, I'm not grinding it totally flat, but just a little bit off of flat. So, you know, just a couple of degrees to try to keep this as flat as possible while still removing enough stock to thin it back out and make it sharp. Reflections are still really strong. Still got a bunch of work to do. Yeah, still really, really strong reflections. It's kind of hilarious. If you saw me jump there, on cold days, the it builds up so much static electricity that this structure here gets really charged, and it shocked the heck out of me. So I think you can see now, we still have reflections here, and they're basically gone from here down. So I've already thinned it out enough to make a big difference. I guess we're going to work just from about here forward and try and get all the rest done. But I didn't bump this too badly. All right, there. Here we go. Almost. The serrations up front are shaped differently, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not being tricked by their different structure. Just feel it for sharpness here. Yeah, I think this still needs a little work. The other thing to do here is to check in the scallops themselves, and I should be getting a burr raised inside the scallops, which I do have here very strongly. Strong, 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 strong. Strong, strong. Kind of hard to see with the naked eye on these little scallops. Just feeling for them. Honestly, it's hard to tell. I'm going to do just a little bit more work on this. Well, no, I'm not. I think it's good to go. I'm just going to polish it up with some 600 to make sure this back is nice and not really rough. So I'm switching to a Trizact A30, which is approximately 600 grit, just to smooth out the back a little. And that's probably all it needs in terms of the back side. Okay, so let's see if we can take the burr off the front. Going to use the smooth side of this Sharp leather belt. I've previously loaded this with green compound several times. And in particular, you can see that I've loaded the edge here with green compound. I'm just going to do a tiny bit more because I just want to be sure. So I'm going to use the corner of this belt almost exclusively to go in and out of the serrations here, and hopefully take that burr right off and make it real sharp. Let's do it. The burr appears to be gone from almost all of them. I can see a little bit here, here, and here. Just a smidge there. Just gonna do a little extra up in there. Yeah, it looks to me like the burr is completely gone. Let's check on the back here. Yeah, it flipped it over a little bit. I'm gonna do the back side also. And just a little more on the front. Back and forth a little bit. That should be it. Let's see if this thing's sharp. I think there's still a little burr left here, and it should be a little smoother than this. Yeah, it should be smoother than this. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I can see it hanging on the scallops. So I'm just going to do a couple more back and forths. Still a little bit hanging on. All right, try another sharpness test here. That's more like it. Yeah, so not absolutely perfect, but I would say that's pretty acceptable for a serrated blade, and a heck of a lot better than when it started. I'm not super duper ultra satisfied with the finished look on the back of this. Sort of like to polish that up a little bit more, but for kind of an old piece of junk that was essentially useless before I started, not too bad. So I went back and looked at this again a little bit more carefully, and I found that there were still some burr hanging on inside the scallops. So I spent another minute or two, not that much, and got rid of all the rest. Also wanted to show you a different sharpness test. So this is some rolled up ad paper. You can think of it as newspaper. And it's pretty hard to cut this stuff without crushing it with knives that are too polished. And it's a nice test to see how toothy a serrated blade is. So it definitely cuts right through that. And on the straight cuts, or the push cuts, you know, it certainly is all kind of sharp now. Now the point's real sharp, and I'll sacrifice just a little bit of arm hair here. It also shaves. Alrighty, thanks for watching.